But this time I went in deeper. I went in deeper. What am I not what am I covering? What am I trying to remove? What emotion? What thing is it that I'm not willing to look at? Because one of the things that keeps us is we don't want to face uncomfortable emotions or painful emotions. We don't want to face embarrassment. Like, I don't want people to know that I'm overeating and I'm doing things. I mean, it's embarrassing. I should be better than that. And, I don't, and it's hard. Once you build that muscle of addiction to sugar, to the fats, and maybe some bad processed foods, it's hard to break that. So I really had to come down to this surrender point where I really looked within and I turned it over and I admitted complete defeat. Doesn't mean I'm a loser, doesn't mean I'm a bad person. It means that I am no longer going to give power to that lower self. And when that power does want to come and say, it's time, I'm going to do something, I have clearly wrote it all out. I wrote out all my feelings and why I'm doing it. Then I wrote out a plan. Then I started to document the day. Then I shared it with somebody else, Stanley. And I said, oh God, he's going to think, because he's Mr. Perfect.
He is not, Charlie. He's not Mr.
I know.
Perfect.
But when you're in that, everyone's better than me.
Of
And I
course.
don't, even though that's not the truth, it's looking around a room thinking, how come they're all happy doing this? I'm miserable doing it, but I'm pretending to be happy.
Yeah. Well, you said so much. That's just packed full of stuff. So remember, Charlie, the way the brain works. So when we're eating a salty or a sugary or any kind of food, we get a dopamine hit, right? So when it comes to self-soothing, which is what we're doing when we're having an emotion and we're turning to food, like having two dinners, we're self-soothing with food because we know we're going to get a dopamine hit from that. And that feels good. It changes the way you feel, that dopamine hit. So that's where the food comes in. And other reward system type activities, like sitting down in front of the TV and watching a mindless program that's, I'm not really getting anything out of. It's a reward activity. It's another dopamine hit. So there is a neurochemistry. There is neurochemistry going on that makes it attractive, makes it a desirable thing for you to do to manage those emotions. Now, and you did the right thing. You got that the feelings out of your head, right? Because when we live up here, it's really limiting, and you put it on paper. I don't like what I'm feeling. This is what I'm feeling. And that's why we're doing these activities, because we don't like what we're feeling. There's a feeling going on that we're trying to medicate in some way with whatever it is, TV or food. And you wrote it all out. So that energy moved from up here between your ears onto a piece of paper that you can now look at from an objective point of view and have some discernment about it. And that's really powerful. And we learned this years ago, you and I, how powerful it is to write something down and let that energy express out of your mind and onto the paper, and how powerful that can be. And then you looked at it and you came up with a plan, and you found an accountability buddy. And Stanley's a great accountability buddy because he will help you stay accountable.